What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. The Yankees made 4 errors in one game as Roman Anthony, he mashed a home run deep into the Yankees' second deck. The Orioles made a huge move with their young rookie catcher Samuel Basallo. Does this mark the beginning of the end for Adley Rutschman in an Orioles uniform? We have 3 mega prospects being promoted to the big leagues, including another pitching prospect from the Pirates who throws 102 with a wipeout slider. Freddie Freeman is going for another batting title, and wait until you hear who he's tied with for that trophy. The Big Amish is back to deleting baseballs, and the Giants, even with Rafael Devers raking as of late, they're a lot of people are looking at GM Buster Posey a little sideways because they still stink. We'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap, and I know it's sacrilegious to wear a Dodgers hat with a Tatis jersey, but I wanted to remind you guys that I'll be live with Major League Baseball on their YouTube channel later today at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. The game will be completely free to watch, and then me and Cougs, we're going to be heading over to Playback after the game. Playback is an app where you can watch live baseball games. All you have to do is sign in with MLB TV. And by the way, MLB TV, it's free for the next 4 days. We also have 50 MLB TV codes to give away. So if you want to watch some baseball the rest of the year, we got you. So before we talk about the Orioles and their breaking story and then potentially being done with Adley Rutschman, we have a few smaller breaking stories like Bubba Chandler, the 22-year-old 7th ranked prospect by Major League Baseball, finally getting his call to the big leagues. Chandler has a 70 grade fastball. He throws 100, 101, 102 sometimes, but he has been getting shelled since mid-June. Opposing hitters since mid-June are batting 306 against them, and Bubba has an almost 6 ERA the last 2 months. But again, he has that 70 grade fastball, a 60 grade slider. If you guys don't know the grades, it's out of 80, so 70 and 60 is very, very high. So scouts, they're big on Bubba Chandler. He's going to be joining the rotation with Paul Skeens, but I guess he's going to be used in a long relief role. 2 more mega prospects getting the call. Carson Williams, the Rays infielder, another 22-year-old. He's the 9th, well, he was the 9th ranked prospect before he hit 213 and dropped to the 47th ranked prospect by MLB. Not only did he hit 213, but he has a whopping 34% strikeout rate in AAA, but we do have to talk about his talent. He could be a perennial 20 home run, 30 stolen base guy with insane defense at shortstop, wherever they're going to put him. But again, he does strike out a lot. I had to mention him, though. He's a lot of fun. I don't know if anyone's more fun than the password. The final 22-year-old getting the call, 77th ranked prospect, Joe Tinson. I think that's how you say it, but that's why they call him the password, because his first name is so hard to spell. It's like a password. 22-year-old Joe Tinson Garcia, who hit 303 with 17 home runs and a 932 OPS in 66 games this year. He's a barrel monster. He hits the ball hard. He has a rocket for an arm. Does that sound familiar? He's basically being touted as the right-hander version of Wilyer Abreu, and we know that Wilyer, he's having a breakout monster campaign, so with Wilyer on the shelf, they're calling up the right-handed version of him. More breaking news. This has to do with Adley Rutschman and maybe his time in Baltimore coming to a close pretty soon. Samuel Basallo just got an 8-year extension worth $67 million now with incentives. It can max out at almost $90 million. Samuel, he just made his debut a few days ago. He also just turned 21 a few days ago as well. He has 5 runs batted in his first 4 big league games. He also cut the strikeout rate and upped the walkout rate a ton this year in the minor leagues. His bat speed is up there with Junior Caminero, Ohtani, and other brutes like Aaron Judge. Now, staying with Judge and his team, the Yankees actually had Samuel signed years ago, but once they signed Garrett Cole in 2021, they actually lost $1 million in international money. So the verbal agreement that they had with Samuel actually went away, and the Baltimore Orioles swooped in and signed him for $1.3 million. So there you go. Basallo, he's going to be an Oriole for the next decade, basically. You know who does not have an extension? Adley Rutschman. Now, we know Adley just went on the IL with an oblique injury, which probably is going to end his season. He's still been pretty good at taking his walks. He's been good at blocking and framing, so he's still very valuable in terms of where he plays because catchers usually don't rake. But Adley getting on base and being a good framer and blocker, it's still valuable. But Adley went from a guaranteed future Hall of Famer who was going to hit you 30 doubles with 20 home runs and a 360 plus on base percentage almost every single season to barely being league average last year in his 3rd season to now being below average in his 4th season, so his senior campaign. He's completely forgotten the swing path that really showcased his launch angle when he first came up, and he hasn't been able to control the run game as well as he used to. And the thing we have to kind of talk about, I know 27 isn't ancient or anything like that, but he's 27 years old. So while I'm not officially closing the books on Adley being like a DH every so often while Samuel still learns the big league zone and how to frame and all that different stuff. But man, the Orioles, they are committed to Samuel. And remember, Adley does not have an extension, so they might trade him. Honestly, a lot of people have been saying that he was going to get traded at the deadline. He might get traded this offseason. The A's better be talking about a Nick Kurtz extension. A lot of you guys have been saying, Fuzzy, just say the name. Okay, there you go. One time. If I get demonetized, it's your fault. This kid is having a rookie campaign for the record books. The A's, they haven't had this type of rookie thump since Big Mac in 1987. I don't know where my brain was going on that one. Big Mac had 49 home runs as a rookie as he won Rookie of the Year. The Law Dog, he's ripping base clearing two-baggers as I'm yapping. Brent Rooker, he traded places for a fourth run. The A's, they are going to run away with this one and complete a sweep of the Twins as Hernaiz, my friend, has a 340 on base with 10 RBIs, his first 19 games with 4 outs above average defensively. Carlos Cortez, the switch-throwing rookie, had an RBI, so everyone has been contributing for Sacramento, and here he is again. First name Nick, last name Kurtz. The Big Amish, the 2025 American League Rookie of the Year. He stole it from his teammate Jacob Wilson. That's his 26th home run. Nick is batting .350 with 62 RBIs and a .450 on base his last 64 games. What even is that? Also, I guess I lied yesterday. Soderstrom, he had a few pinch hit walks in between his streaks. So I said that he had a 21-game hitting streak. It's actually 19. He had 4 more base hits in this one. The A's, man, their offense is looking downright lethal for the next, 3, 4, 5 years when they get to Vegas. The A's just completed a sweep. What about the Cubs? And this wouldn't be just any sweep. It would be a 4-game sweep of the Brew Crew without King Tuck. Just kidding, Kyle Tucker. He actually played in this one. And the Cubs lost. The laws of baseball basically say that Kyle Tucker should be benched for the rest of the year. I don't make the rules. That's just how baseball goes. Brice Turang, honestly, he might hit 30 home runs one day. His bat speeds, his sweet spots, his launch angles, everything has skyrocketed this year. He has 14 home runs and a 120 OPS plus with 9 defensive run saves. Outs above average still doesn't like him very much, and that's kind of like the cream of the crop for defense. So which defensive stat do you like the most? Kyle Tucker's up again, and he rolled over again. He's been grounding out like crazy. Now he's chasing for one of the most unproductive outs possible because, I mean, runners are on. You got to try and lift the ball. He did not. PCA, he did get one across, but that was it for the Cubs all game. Tucker, I mean, he cannot catch a break. This is a double play and more trouble for Kyle Tucker. He couldn't get to this South Freelick fly ball. This is not the same Kyle Tucker that we saw in the first half. It has to be that injury, but then again, that right there, he should have caught that. Although I will say, I mean, I can't speak from experience, but just from watching as a kid, so many fly balls drop. The sun out there in Wrigley Field can be absolutely unforgivable. Isaac Collins, who could push for a Rookie of the Year in the National League, he drove in 2 more as Trevor McGill. He secured his 30th save of the year, which means that the Brewers, they're the first in baseball to 80 wins. You know how the Yankees are known as the evil empire? Well, there's a new empire in baseball that we have to worry about. The Roman Empire. You guys got to wait for his moment. Luis Hill, what is going? He dropped it. Jazz threw a baseball into the dugout. So we have runners at the corners. And there's another error. Ben Rice, the 3rd error of the inning. Yeesh. Now, at least for Ben Rice's sake, he made up for it with a 419-foot moonshot. Goldie, he then made it 2-1. And the Red Sox, they could not capitalize early on tons of base runners. I mean, they were stranding guys left and right. Now, Roman Anthony got on. The bases are loaded for the newcomer, Nathaniel Lowe. Another runner in scoring position chance. And Lowe got 1 duck on a pond to score. That'll work. It's 2-2. The evil empire is back on top. Story, he makes this play 3 or 4 years ago 100% of the time. It's just the sprint speed and the reads aren't as good. Roman Anthony, this is an RBI slap shot to tie it. And Nate Lowe, he has, I don't know if he likes to be called Nate anymore, I should say Nathaniel. Lowe has 4 runs batted in his first 8 at-bats with the Red Sox. The Yankees, they made a 4th error. So instead of it being a solo home run, Roman Anthony just barreled up a middle mistake to the second deck. Look at the bat toss. He has 23 extra base hits with a 405 on base his first 59 games with 5 outs above average defensively. Aroldis Chapman secured his 23rd save of the season. The Yankees walked 9. They made 4 errors. The Yankees are now just a half game up on Boston, who again could be getting some firepower with the password being unlocked. You see what I did there? Speaking of New York teams only being a half game ahead, the Mets are now just a half game up over the Reds for the final wild card spot. Nathaniel Lowe's old team, they stuck it to the Mets after Lindor and Marte did both mash home runs. By the way, Francisco Lindor just made some history on that swing. He has 8 leadoff home runs this year. That is a Mets record. He's also 27 home runs away from 300. Anyway, after an RBI out from Dylan Cruz, the Mets fully unplugged their brains. Pete Alonso, buddy, you gotta go to first base. If you can't really 100% confirm the out at second, you got to go to first. Sean then lost the fastball, so CJ's on base. Paul DeYoung lifted a sac fly, and here's where the game really got out of hand. Riley Adams, that is a 2-out, 2-run liner. So that's why the camera panned to Pete Alonso, because again, it should have been 3 outs if Pete would have just gone to first base for the easy out. Jacob Young, he got one to fall just ahead of Mullins for another RBI. Brady House, another RBI for him. That's cool and all, but this is cooler. James Wood on 100 miles an hour at his elbows, somehow inside outed it for a 3-run home run. That is mythical power, mythical strength, mythical bat speeds, whatever you want to call it. He has 26 home runs. Juan Soto, he ended it with a wave. He just whiffed at it. The Mets, what are we thinking about them right now? The Mariners did not play yesterday, which meant that a Royals win could get them within 2 games of that final wildcard spot. The Rangers, they tried their best to get back into it. Nick Lofton of the Royals, he went way out. And Jock Peterson, he answered with an RBI of his own. But then the Royals ran it up to 4-1, courtesy of a Salvador Perez single. Tyler Tolbert had a sac fly, and a Michael Garcia single got it to the 4th run. And then the lead evaporated on a rare Bobby Witt Jr. error and a clutch 2-run knock for the Silver Slugger, Josh Smith. But Vinnie Pasquantino can knock it out. He is on a heater of all heaters. He has a home run in 4 consecutive games. He has 28 extra base hits and 45 RBIs his last 45 games. He has 26 home runs and 87 RBIs. Carlos Estevez, he ends his 33rd save with a strikeout. The Royals are 10 games over 500. They're 24-14 since July 6th. Shohei is getting the night off in this one, not later today against the Padres, and we kind of expected this after he took a perfect to the thigh. Freddie, he did not need cores for this swing. 451 feet, would have been out regardless. He has 16 home runs. By the way, there is currently a 3-way tie for the batting title in the National League. Freddie, his teammate Will Smith, and Trey Turner, they're all batting 303, so they're all tied. Look at Miggy Rowe with the RBI bunt, just a flawless example of small ball. And then, ooh, that's a painful RBI, 98 miles an hour off of Will Smith. Alex Call, he's heating up. He has 6 base hits his last 11 at-bats. Alex Freeman, that's an RBI double. And Andy Pages, I do want to note that he and Pete Crow Armstrong have really slowed down a good amount, but they're still going to have some awesome numbers at the end of the season. That's his first home run on the road since April 23rd. Will Smith added a second RBI, but I'm going to show this Brenton Doyle dent job. He goes 442 feet to secure a 4 RBI day. He's now batting 341 with the 930 OPS his last 41 games. That was the exact date that he made a change to his stance. He changed his back foot to be straight as opposed to not angling towards the catcher. He's been absolutely just disgusting since then. The Dodgers, they do win. They're 73-55. And boy, did they need that dub, because the Padres are having almost everything go their way right now. I mean, look at this swing from Manny Machado. Just an excuse me RBI. Fernando scores because it seems like he's been on base like every other plate appearance. Xander, he lifted a sac fly, and Freddie Freeman, he is one of the best bunters in the game. He made the Giants rush, and that is, you're currently watching 2 errors on 1 play. Matos just kind of whiffed it out there, so 2 ended up scoring. Tatis bunted as well. Then Luis Arraez bunted, both of them over. Grandfathers and grandpappies across America got to be gooning after seeing a bunt in the last game, and now some small ball in this one. Manny Machado plated 2 more. So when the Padres are getting production from not only Manny Machado, but Xander Bogaerts as well, and Tatis, he's feeling himself on defense and just getting on base. They are a tough team to beat. Justin Verlander, man, he looked defeated out there. That is a 7 spot against the future Hall of Famer. Ramon made it 8 runs. He has an almost 170 OPS plus with the Padres. Devers and Adames, I do want to show them going back-to-back to ruin what could have been a potential quality start for Dylan Cease. Rafael Devers has 25 home runs. Adames has 20. But I do want to note, with this L, the Giants are now 20-37 since making that trade. That is the worst record in baseball by 2 games. Is Buster Posey fit to be a GM? You guys have to let me know. The last time that we saw Brandon Young against the Astros, he was 4 outs away from perfection. Carlos Correa ruined that in the first 3 minutes of this game, and yeah, this baseball is not coming back. A 1-way ticket to the bleachers, courtesy of Christian Walker. He was drafted and then DFA'd by the Orioles, so that had to have felt really good. Carlos Correa has been a man amongst boys ever since he rejoined the Astros. He's batting 340 with 10 RBIs his first 18 games back. Beavers, Dylan Beavers, he got fooled, but this is why coaches are telling kids to just find barrels, because even though he got fooled, he just went yard for his first career home run. Yainer Diaz, it is a 7 spot before the 3rd came to a close. Walker, he's showing off the gold glove. He robs Gunnar Henderson of a base hit, maybe even an extra base hit. This Astros team is still very much loaded in offense. I mean, even Jesus Sanchez, the newcomer, had 5 base hits in this game. The only question mark we have about the Astros is the health of their pitching staff, but the Astros do snap that losing streak. They have 70 wins on the season, but we're not done talking about them. Here we go. They just picked up the 37-year-old Craig Kimbrel. So we know that Craig Kimbrel is a 9-time All-Star. He has 440 saves. He is one of the most decorated relievers we've ever seen. He'll be joining the Astros bullpen after being released by the Texas AAA squad. So he had 28 strikeouts in 21 innings. They're not really worried about his stuff, but the Astros, they do think that they can fine-tune that command, because he had a 5.1 walks per 9. That's not going to cut it. But he also had a tiny 4.6 hits per 9 total this year. So they really think they can use his stuff and get his command back in check. This last game was kind of all over the place. You are never throwing out Chandler Simpson on a swing like that. It's a swinging bunt for Brandon Lowe. The Cardinals, they answer with 2 as Nathan Church, I think that's his name, he had a fielder's choice, and Lars Nootbaar, he roped a double to bring home Pedro Pages. Boyle then threw a wild pitch, so Nathan Church can just really scamper home easily. Burleson, he had a 2-run knock, but then his 2-run knock was matched by a Yandy Diaz 2-run home run. The dude was walking... he knew it was gone. Ivan Herrera, he's still batting over 280 as a catcher. He has a 362 on base. And Wilson, the former St. Louis catcher, he crushed his 18th home run. He's 30 home runs away from 200, and he's nearing a 30 WAR on Baseball Reference. He's had a really, really nice career. Swanson, he got a little comebacker off the rear as Simpson scored again. The bases are loaded for the rookie Bob Seymour. He's already homered in this series. Uh-oh. You got to hit the weight room, Bob. JoJo Romero, he secures a 3-strikeout, 6-out save as Sonny Gray, he picks up his 12th win of the year. The Cardinals are 4 games back of the playoffs. That does it for today's recap, but just a reminder, be sure to check out Cougs and I live with Major League Baseball on their YouTube channel at 6:30 tonight. We're going to be watching the Padres and the Dodgers game. We have 50 MLB TV codes to give away, so come hang out. We'll then go to Playback. Our room is called The Show, so don't forget to download Playback or go to playback.tv/The Show to watch Cougs and I after the MLB live stream. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I'll catch you guys there. Enjoy the web gems.
Pop up off of third, and Michael finding a shot, and Lorenzen. Kenji Gore kept that inning from getting away from him, and here comes Dylan.
This he got in his kitchen. Shallow. It's Martin sliding and makes a great play.
Swinging a ground ball back to the middle. On the backhand dive as Brandon Lowe gets up. Submarine.